Hello team, welcome back to my Loot Roots Survivors Guide on my PS5 modded server, the White Cloud server, for the Kamyshovo spawn groups. So if you recall, we left Tulga, which is down there at the end of this trail. This is the red trail that comes running up here and comes through here and it goes through this crossroads and it goes out that way. And we left Tulga about 10 minutes down the trail there, so it's a bit of a yomp. It's 10 minutes of just, I don't run, I just kind of do I don't sprint, I do kind of whatever the jog is, I do the regular jog. And it'll bring you up here to this little area here. We've got some binoculars here, if you want some binoculars. We've got a map, I'll look at that in a second. I've got this little over here, which has got a little army pouch bag in it, which takes 35, and our for a courier bag only takes 30. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop that. We're going to pick up that army pouch bag, and we are going to very definitely swap it over. And we're going to give ourselves the capacity for 5 more things, which would be awesome. Which may well be this sickle, which I'm having problems carrying around. 6 will take, the armor pouch will take another 9. Beautiful, Bernard. So there you go, upgrades, upgrades, upgrades. So here we are, and if you take a look at this sign, it gives you some direction. We're going to Msta, which is this one. Sorry about the backlit sky. We're going to Msta, which is this way, 0.8 kilometers. And there's a whole load of others here which I don't always find on a map, so I'm not going to cover those. Electro 3.3 that way, and I don't know what's 10.2 and 14.1 and a whole bunch of other places, and all the rest of it doesn't really matter. It's not important right now. What's important right now is where we're going. So here we are down here. Oop. So this is Kamyshovo, where we started out, obviously. We went up the red trail to Tulga, where we got ourselves fairly sorted. We came along, we're now at the crossroads. We're going to go up to Msta, like I said. So we're going to go up to Msta, and then we're going to go across to Staroye. Now, Msta is just one of those places we're going to go and just have a little bit of a loot and see what we can get. It's a funny little place, doesn't really have a lot, doesn't have water. Doesn't have police, doesn't have fire department. It's just a collection of little buildings where maybe we might get some stuff which might help us. It's just part of the journey to Staroye. Staroye is a little bit more of a place, and then we'll decide from Staroye where we're going to go up the rest of the map to get to our final destination, which is up there in the top left hand corner. Yes, so that is where we are. So that is the west. We have come from the east. We are heading west. That is the west. So it's going to start getting dark while I head up this trail. And what I'll do is I'll cut you guys out and I'll go for this little jog. It's probably about another 10 minutes. It's probably about the same distance. And I'm fine. Look, I'm fine. And this is what the dried fruit's about. I'm just periodically stopping. I just stop. I have a bit of dried fruit. Have a little goosey gander, what's going on? Not a lot. Carry on. Okay, so there's not a lot of strange, startling, or fascinating things. But I'll get to Msta probably by night time. And what I'll do is I'll probably hang out there until it's morning, and then I'll take you around and have a look at Msta, okay? There's deer down there. You can hear the deer? That's red deer. Good eating. You're probably red deer. You'll never take a red deer down with a sporter, unless there's some miracle happened. And oh, look, another gas. I want the stove. And a shotgun. The problem with a shotgun is getting close enough. If you get close enough, you can take an animal out. Shotgun's great for sheep, pigs, wild boar, wild animals. Not so much. They won't let you get close enough to them. Goats. If you can get close enough to a goat or a sheep or a domesticated pig with a shotgun, absolutely, you're going to be able to take it out. Or a cow. I've never tried shooting a cow. I don't know if you can do it with one shot or you have to chase it and get a second in. But the roe deer and the red deer and the wild boar, I don't know. I think I'm going to find it pretty hard because they don't like you getting close to them. You usually got to have a rifle. You got to have a bit of range. So anyway, I'm not going to be doing that. Oh, and I picked up another chicken. And as we've seen, it may be better if you have a chicken to leave it in a whole condition rather than chopping it up, because if you chop it up, it might take up more inventory space. Anyway, carry on. I'll see you soon. Hello again. It's raining. It's raining, and I'm standing on one of these things. So, anyway, remember this. Remember this. So you come up the trail from the map. But well, that was abrupt. From the map post to here. And this is the junction. We're going to want that road eventually. But this is Msta. So this is Msta over here. So let's go have a little look at Msta and see what's going on. The trail carries on down this way. Like I said, a few little houses and things. There's some fruit trees around here. So there's always an opportunity to, hello, Mr. Fruit. You know, so just knowing what fruit trees look like. No, I don't think that one is a fruit tree. There's one of them which is kind of big. The pear tree? Cherry tree. No, not plum tree. Plum tree is quite large. I always get the plum tree mixed up. But the apple trees are pretty obvious. Anyway, like I said, we're just going to go down here and we're going to have a little nosy. There's nothing super fabulous, amazing, marvelous or great that I'm expecting. But I'm hoping, for instance, a bigger bag. I didn't do this. It's not a con. I swear it's not a con. It's not a con. We found a bigger bag. There you go. It's a lovely bright orange color. But there you go. And it even had a can in it. What was it? A can of Pepsi or something? Not a cola. Great. So there you go. Not a con. It's not staged. I just happened to come down here and it's just a bag. So there you go. And a lighter. Ooh. No, it's a P1 mag. Not so ooh. Gun cleaning kit. How are our guns? Worn and pristine. So no, not worth worrying about. Frying pan. Only if you've got a stove. I'm only taking it if you've got a stove. She got. Oh, you legend! So long, Sporter. It's you, isn't it? Cheerio. You are now gone burgers because there's nothing in my life better than a crossbow. It's in shocking condition. Look at the poor thing. Oh, no one's looked after you. It's just terrible. Right, okay. We've now got a use for those 12 feathers that we've been carting around, which is great. So, let's go and do that, because you may not be familiar with that, so I will show you how. Now, I do love my crossbows, it has been said. Most of the time by me. So what you need to do is you need to get yourself some sticks. Hello, sticks. I'm going to gather some sticks. That's one stick. That'll net me 3 short sticks. Six. 9. Need one more set. Right, that'll yield me a bunch. I'm complaining about the cold and it's wet, so I'm going to get inside before I get any more wet. Because it's a safe place to do what I'm going to be doing. And it's another BK, and that's it. Right, okay, fine. So let's put the sickle down for now. I might take that. Sticks. So we're going to make a bunch of short sticks. Personally, we're going to do it over here. Personally, I think 10. I think you can make a stack of 5 bolts. So what we'll do is we'll drop those on the ground. So what I want is 10. So we'll split these up, and we'll make 2 stacks of 5 sticks, which will be great. And we'll probably won't drop them on the ground. That's 3. That's 6. This is going to be 9. Pardon me. And 10. Well, this will be 12, but we could make 12 bolts, which we probably will. We'll probably make all 12. So we'll just make all 12. But what we'll do is we'll consolidate some of these things together. So that's a 5, and that's a 4, and that's a 5, and there we go. So what we want to do is we want to sharpen these bad boys first. Now, I'm going to do this with my axe. Now, I've covered this before, but just to remind everybody, if you're sharpening short sticks with the sharpening tool in your hand, when you do it and you start crafting, you will see the condition of your sharpening tool down there in the bottom left. So if you see the condition getting worse and it looks like it's about to get ruined, you can decide to stop using it and switch tool. And in that case, you haven't ruined your tool, and you might be able to sharpen it again later and all the rest of it and everything else. So you end up with then these sharp sticks. If you have the sticks in your hand and you sharpen it, and you still can, you only see the condition of the short sticks in the bottom left, which tells you nothing about the condition of your sharpening tool. So if you're merrily going ahead and doing this, and say you might have a bunch of short sticks or a bunch of bolts, for example, then what happens is you wreck your sharpening tool. So my advice to you is always have your sharpening tool in your hand, because now it's not in a particularly good condition, this hatchet. So I'm hoping it'll go through 2 more of this, because I really don't want to lose it. That's fine. I haven't lost it, but it's not in great nick. So then what we need to do is we just add the feathers, which is a simple combination, and it just doesn't matter because you're just adding it up. So it doesn't, nothing gets worse through this process. It's just time consuming. And then what we'll do is we'll end up with our fully functioning crossbow. Now, obviously, this crossbow that we have is not in super duper condition, and we need to be careful about that. What we need is epoxy. So epoxy will repair your crossbow back to a very good condition. So now that I'm down here, one of my other goals is to have a look around for epoxy. And you usually find that in sheds and garages and various other industrial areas and places like that, as you imagine, because that's where you would usually be using epoxy, right? So there you go. So we're going to make this up. We've now got a couple of stacks. The only other thing to be aware of with these, which will crop up as we go along now that I've got a crossbow, is that when you use the crossbow, I need to put that somewhere, put it on there. When you use the crossbow, the issue is that when you pick up the bolts, there's a reason why you didn't load me up. There you go. When you pick up the bolts, they haven't figured out how to stack them in your inventory yet, so it picks them up individually, so you have to go back and manually stack them. It's incredibly annoying. think you heard me, did you? Bye. Don't need another chicken. See what we find, see what you find, see what you find, see what you find, see what we find. We found a lovely hat, which is listed as best insulation, and we've got this thing which is listed as knackered. So let us put that on, and now maybe that will help us find it. And did we take any like substantial damage with our over the last little while? Let's check our clothes. Good. Good. The bag needs a repair. So we can repair the bag. This is undercover, so we're good if it starts raining. Bag still needs a repair. Bag is good. It doesn't matter now because we have managed to sort out the run out of duct tape. That's what I was going to say. Managed to run out of duct tape. And still nothing. Right, okay, well that's Msta. I did say, small place, not a lot to it, just a cluster of little houses. That said, that small place with not much to it got me a crossbow. Which I am so happy. My life in DayZ was made so much better when they brought in a crossbow. I cannot tell you. It really suits my particular play style, solo, down to the ground, absolutely perfectly to a T, and I very, 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 very definitely love it. If they ever take it out, I'm gonna cry. So I've got the crossbow. It needs repaired, and that's the way it is. That's fine. We're now heading over to the place that I said that we had to remember, the other road, which is the road to Staroye. And Staroye is going to yield some different sets of things, I am sure, because it has medical and police and a couple of other odds and sods and bits and pieces. So this is the road to Staroye. So there's a little place up here, which is like a little roadside pub, I guess is what you want to call it. I guess. Where the locals from Msta go to the fishing rod. Interesting. An interesting fishing rod. If you've got the space to carry it. I don't quite have the space to carry it. A lovely warm sweater. Is obviously all grand. Sometimes some things spawn on the floor down here. Sometimes some things spawn in this room. We have got a box of 7.6254s, which is fine. I'll be prepared to take a box of ammo. That's a bit of a nuisance. It's a bit of a run through the wet outside to Staroye. It is. I've just about reached the end of my little session for the time being, so I think what I might do is I might just camp out here, and actually what I might do ultimately is I might cook this chicken. So I've got a chicken to cook, I've got some inventory to sort out, and I'll sort that out, and then hopefully when it's dried up a little bit, we'll pick up the journey at Staroye. So we'll see you soon. Okay, welcome back. This is Staroye. That's what that says. So, yeah, what I've done is I have cooked up that rooster. I got 3 out of it, which isn't too bad. So I've smoked those to last longer. I've eaten all of the fresh fruit, various other bits and pieces that I had. Our sickle is ruined. Just checking that. Our sickle is ruined. So that's a bit of a shame. So we're in the hunt in Staroye. We're going to be looking for some knives, I think, and possibly sharpening stones. And I still don't have a decent set of gloves. I mean, I'm still rocking these pristine improvised hand wrapping, and you know, they're still doing me okay. But we could do with something different. So here we are. Let's go have a look. Right, here we are on top of the police station. I was hoping for a slightly better view, but can't really get one from here. So there's some Zeds wandering around down there. Just over here is medical behind this tree. You see some medical people wandering around down there, and just out here in front of this house and medical is the water. So this is where we've come in. We came in up at the top, which is out this way. See out that way, where the farm building is, out that way. So we came in up at the top, came up through the little road up there. We've come down here to 2 police, and then there's medical. Sorry, which is right there. And sorry, that's the hunting store. Medical, and then the other thing. And there's a couple of other houses on this side. So what we've got so far is we've got some gloves, which is great. I haven't got any other knives. Got a belt, which is great. Need a sheath. I threw away a sheath. I threw away a canteen. It's a holster. So these are all things that are good news. That if we got them would be very good news. We picked up some ammo. Picked up a sewing kit. Does anything need repaired while we're standing up here? Just chin wagging away. The belt needs repaired. And yeah, we'll just let the Zeds down there calm down while we do a little bit of work. Funny thing how they can hear you on top of a building, wandering around on top of a building. Can't hear you right, right next to them and stuff. But I don't know. It's just the way it is with the game, isn't it? So anyway, now everything else is good, so that's all good. So yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go and we'll head out of here, and we'll check out the hunting store and medical, and we'll grab ourselves some water, and we'll check out some of the things, and then we'll have a little chin wag about where we'll be going to after that. Right, team. Let's walk and talk. So that was the lovely little town of Staroye. Now, while this is an easy route, there's a little military checkpoint not a million miles up the road, And I think if you're coming up this way, it would be remiss of you not to check it. I think you probably should check it. I'm kind of conscious that certainly I think on official it's quite easy. I don't think it's going to be at all a problem on official. On this server, on my server, it might be a little bit more testy. But I guess them's the breaks. So, and I should think that maybe by this time you've probably gotten into the swing of things by this time, right? So you're probably bludgeoning along, and you're quite happy. You feel like you've got your tactics down, and you know how to avoid the Zeds and or get out of their way if they're coming to get you. So, on the basis that that is the case, we're going to go up to this checkpoint and we're going to check it out, because I have to say that by far and away, for the most part, getting kitted early on, I mean, depending on your concept of kitted, good clothes, good bags, a good close-up weapon, and a good long-range weapon to get that kind of a setup. And maybe a hand pistol or something like that, or a submachine gun if that's where you're going. To get that kind of a setup rocking for you means that you probably want to visit at least some military establishments along the way. So it's probably worth doing that. And I'm talking about the small ones, really, for an easy route if that's where you're going. If you're relatively new to the game, or even if you're not relatively new to the game, sometimes it doesn't all have to be high tension and grit and all the rest of it. Sometimes it can just be a casual stroll, right? You just want a bit of an easy game to get to a position where you feel comfortable and safe. Maybe you already have a base, you just want to get there without too much hassle, or whatever the situation is. Anyway, the situation here is that we're gonna head up this way, and you can see it up there. We're heading up this track, and we'll check it out. And once we've checked it out, then we're probably in a position to head on to the next place that I want to head on to, which is Shakhovka or Shakhovka, or however it's pronounced. I'm sorry, I just don't know. But anyway, this looks good. We've got a almost ready to go Hummer here. One wheel missing. No, because it's got a spare in it. Let's pop the trunk and see what's happening under here. This is good to go, bar one battery. It's got a spare in the trunk, which you could stick on the chassis. It's got a glow plug in it. Hummers don't have radiators, so they don't need water. All it probably needs is gas. Let's see how much gas is in it. It's got some gas in it already. You could literally get this bad boy working real easy with nothing, really. There's a battery down there in a car, I think. Nice though, nice vehicle, the old Hummer. Watch, I'll show you. Take the wheel out, stick it to our hands, attach. There you go. One ready to rock and roll Hummer. All you need is battery. That'd be easy. Easy win. This one's wasted. Busted. It's got some gear in it. Anyway. Yeah, good little win. Right, here we go. Why am I so cold? What is the matter with me? I mean, I just don't understand. That's medium insulation. That's high insulation. That's supposed to be best insulation. I've got padded gloves, which is also supposed to be best insulation. I got some shoes that are damaged that are low insulation. Is it my shoes? I mean, I can't believe it's my shoes. One of the downsides is the shoes. So they're damaged, which is not a great state for them to be in. So we won't find a leather kit up here. We might need to put on a set of like combat boots or something if we find some. and see if we can pick up another pair of shoes like this later, because we don't want to end up with wrecked shoes and wander around cutting our feet. That guy seems to have a vest. Oh, missed him. Crossbow's not very effective at long range. I say long range. Oh, it spotted me. Right, well, I'm not going to waste my crossbow bolts. Right, I need to unbox some ammo here. How did he take that? Right, well that's all them dealt with. He had a bag, an assault backpack, which is probably ruined now. Right, so that's the end of that. So what we want to find here, if you come up this way, is because, like I said, we're going to head up the road, and we're going to head up the road to a little place called Shakhovka. And Shakhovka's got a few little bits and pieces in it, a place to get water and such like that. Just it's another one of those places to pass through. You know, it might be one of those places that you find that because it's one of those places to pass through, you might find people setting up bases, or you might want to set up a base. I don't know. Stashes, various other odds and sods and bits and pieces. Anyway, for us, what we want to do is we want to find the red trail. So this is the red trail. So we're going to follow the red trail up to Shakhovka, which takes us down here and around a bit. It takes us up through the woods and everything else. Just follow the red trail, follow the red trail, follow the yellow brick road. So standing under this tree, what did we get? What did we get? What did we get? Well, we didn't get a field jacket, which is my favorite jacket, but what we did get was we got a vest, which is pretty good. So we got a vest, so that's nice, and it's a field vest. It's in pristine condition. It gives us some extra storage capacity, which we desperately needed, which is fine. We've still got the ORL jacket. We didn't get a tactical belt, which would have been nice, or a sheath, or a canteen, or anything. We did ultimately get an assault backpack in pristine. Doesn't hold quite as much as the mountain backpack, obviously, but it is a better color, albeit we're still rocking a blue jacket, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But we got our hat, we got padded gloves. Didn't get any boots, so I'm gonna have to be careful with these things because they're damaged now. We definitely need to get them replaced at Shakhovka. The other thing that we can do is we can take these rags. I think we've got enough of them to make improvised feet wrapping. So push comes to shove, we can't actually make something for our feet, so that's why you always carry some rags or something extra around the place. See what I mean about bolts? After you've used bolts for a while, you have to go back and stack them manually, because they do get to be a bit of a nuisance. So anyway, that frees up a bit of space. We picked up this Colt, which is a 9mm pistol with a suppressor, which takes 45s, which is fine. We don't have any of those, but it's slightly better than the smaller pistol. And if we run across something, we can kind of finish it off. I'd prefer the 9mm pistol. I'm still carrying some 9mm ammo and things, but there you go. We picked up some charcoal. Charcoal is quite handy if you eat something that makes you sick. So if you eat something that makes you sick, taking charcoal helps you get better. Tets don't. Tets won't change a thing. But if you eat something that makes you get sick, and you're vomiting and so on, charcoal tablets will certainly help you out. They're also important if you're going to go contaminated area raiding. You need them for your gas masks. I've covered that in some of my other videos, some of my other seasons. I've done all of the contaminated areas in Chernarus and Livonia, so you just need to go and have a look at those if you want to know how to deal with all that kind of stuff. Other than that, we got a brand new hatchet, which is jolly good, and we picked up a GPS receiver along the way, which will come in important if we ever find a battery for it and we ever find a map, which would be good. Oh, rotten food, a real shame. Any food here? Some dried food, not a shame. Right, so yeah, well, I'll bring you in when we get to Shakhovka. See you soon. Right, sorry, it's going to be a bit of a foggy one, but here we are in Shakhovka. That's what that says. Waxobka, Shakhovka. So we're going to go and we're going to have a little look around, and it's a pretty small place. It's not a huge place. It's sort of one of these, you know, one or two street places, but it does have water, it does have an orchard, it does have, you know, a few other bits and pieces, but nothing fantastic. Pardon me, but I want you to remember this, because it's going to come in handy later. So do remember the power lines, and we'll go and we'll have a look around, and we'll see what we can find, shall we? Right. Well, there you are. That's Shakhovka, really. There's not much not much else to it. It's a few houses and some stuff and some areas with orchard trees and a lot of infected running around and various other bits and pieces. So that's it. So we're going to head off, and we're going to head off a little bit across country. We're going to follow these lines, not the big lines. We're going to follow these lines. So this is why I said remember these lines at Shakhovka. So we're going to have to follow these lines um, off into the distance, and that's going to take us up to another set of lines, which will take us to our final destination um, at the end of these lines, which will be Polana. But that will have to wait until the next episode because I have just plainly run out of time. So yeah, so that's it. So we started off this episode on the road to Msta. So leaving Tulga on the road to Msta, and we went up the country tracks to Msta. We went and had a look around Msta. We travelled cross country to Staroye. We had a little nosy around Staroye. We went to the military camp at the Oreshka Pass, and we had a little nosy around there and got a little bit heated from our perspective and had to deal with a lot of Zeds, as you do. Military camps is just always one of those things. As soon as you set one off, that's it. They just all come running. And then we came up the hill to Shakhovka. So just checking out some small places along the way. And you know, like I said, incremental gains. We picked up some stuff at the military. We picked up a bigger bag. We picked up a vest. We picked up some padded gloves along the way in one of the houses. We picked up a belt in one of the houses along the way. We picked up a new pair of shoes, and so on. We picked up some food, some additional food, some chickens, some additional sharp implements. We picked up some bolts. We have picked up some ammo and various other odds and sods and charcoal and bits and pieces. So we're still going along. We're still going along. We're still going along. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. We've got food. We've got water. We could do with some better gear. Shotgun's all right. But really, what we need is probably some kind of really good weapon, like even just a Mosin or a Tundra or something like that from a hunting shack or from one of these like log cabin houses occasionally spawns. That kind of thing would be good, and a better jacket, maybe a better pair of pants. So like a hunting jacket and a hunting pair of pants would be fine if we rustle those up somewhere. And food-wise, we're going crazy. We're knocking it out of the park. We have more food than we know what to do with. Our gear is in good condition. We're doing okay. We've got water. We've got food. We could do with a camp stove and a few other odds and sods and bits and pieces. But by and large, doing okay. Great start. Drop a like. Do subscribe to the channel. Do click the bell notification so that you know when the next one of these is coming out. And do feel free to comment, drop a line, or ask me any questions about this or any of the other episodes of my series. And I'll see you all again real soon. Ta-ta for now. PlayStation